Yo guys, what is going on? This is Yorkie here, and this is an insight to the end of our first year. We're going to go a little bit nuts here on the squad reports, starting with Mr. Tom Heaton. We're going to have a quick flick through the players because, as you know, it's the end of our first season with Burnley, and I know it's been a long road to get to the end of our first season. We are really pushing to fly through the second season. It's looking good already, guys. Jason Shackle going up there, but he is old. He's 31. Stephen Ward, 29. The back line for his team at Burnley is old. It's old. So in this transfer window coming up, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at now great defensive players. I looked at the attack at the start of last season. I wasn't happy with what I had. I'm pretty happy going into this next season. Sado Berahino already +4. Come on, man. I'm really excited about our attack for next season. Ings fired off some rockets this year as well. All round, I think we're really strong when it comes to our attack. So, second season, really what we're going to have to start doing now is I have to look at the defence, because the defence is pretty darn poor. I mean, we're aging completely in the defence. I mean, if you go through this list now, there's not any real great defenders in any of the defensive positions. So we're really going to have to take like a real good look in the defence. But look at that Chalobah there going up 4. A lot of players have gone up really well. Derek Bayata, a player who I signed, was like quite lowly rated for the Premiership right back. He's probably become one of our best defenders. And going into the future, I'm more than happy for him to stay in the squad as one of our defenders. Jukovic and Vokes aren't terrible strikers. I've just not enjoyed using them. And to be fair, when you've got Berahino and Ings, they have definitely taken full choice over any of the others. There was quite a few youngsters out on loan. Like, I thought we had a pretty small squad last year, but there's quite a few of them out on loan. By any stretch of the imagination, none of them were fantastic players, so there's always that. But look, we've finally hit the end of season button there, and it's about time. The Burnley board this year's expectations are not anything out of the wild. Again, avoid relegation. We don't have a club, a squad really, to mentally look at it in any other way. Avoid relegation is absolutely fine by me. I think this year we look to stand like we'll do well. I mean, coming in the 6th, 14 goals. I thought he may have done a little bit better, but that's only one off second with Benteke at Aston Villa. And Jovetic from Manchester City getting 18 goals. I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, assist-wise, I don't think we had anyone of note whatsoever, and clean sheets. Heaton is 5th, which isn't bad. We've had a pretty good season, man. We've had such a good season. I'm well excited to sit down and do the transfers for our second year. I really am. I cannot say that enough. What's this? League objective, obviously, as it stated there, was avoid relegation, and I'm not too... I want to do better than avoid relegation because it's all about building this year, but only being given 10 million again, which, look, don't get me wrong, 10 million in the first year, 10 million in the second year after avoiding relegation isn't terrible, because the club now is in a better position. I signed all players that are going to stay, and then all I want to do is sign a few more. We're trying to nail down Chalobah here on a new contract. He's someone who I cannot, afford to upset, and him come up to me and say, look, I want to transfer. He's probably one of our best central midfielders. We get an injury here for Michael Keitler, which means he won't be starting the start of the season. A little bit frustrating when you get those training injuries, out for 8 weeks, but luckily it's at the start of summer. 8 weeks at the start of summer isn't, end of the world for us to lose him. We also get in our pre-contract signing there as well. I was well happy about that. And look, Chalobah here, look, he's really behind the club. I'm going to accept the contract, which was fantastic. We do again redeem a Scout Future Star. I like using that feature. I think you should use it every now and again. This is a shortlist, guys, so if any names pop out on the shortlist that you think, okay, you could probably go in and get them, definitely speak up now. So there's quite a lot of players. I'm going to inquire here about Van Beek. He looks really good. I mean, he's 20 rated. His value wasn't. 20 rated. He's 20 and 70 rated. They didn't seem like they wanted too much for him. So I definitely was 100% right. I need to go in on that. There was quite a few players in this list that I was really impressed with. Obviously, you can tell here I went, full on defender scouting. But I built up a shortlist, a pretty decent shortlist in my opinion. Over the year, I was guaranteed I knew everyone on this shortlist was a pretty decent player. James Forrest, another player I wouldn't mind going in for with his age. There's a few players on the list, obviously, that were players I looked at when we was in the Championship. That's correct. When we was in the Championship, and they're just not players that we need to look for anymore. They're not players that really we could do with. Bill Adjday, he would be awesome for us. Ojo, Livermore. There's a lot of really good players on the list that I've looked at and I think, they could really do. We were looking for a left-sided midfielder. We're only having Kylie, and he's not really my favourite. But it was like, do I blow the budget on a real big player, or do I kind of hold on to it and go in for someone who's probably going to be more squad players? Fill the team up now with more squad players for the second season, and hopefully the strike force I built already will do well, and the rest of the team that I've got will do well as well. As you can see there, we're going to go in, we're going to try and go in for Pape Cisse. He's just a player I like, and I thought with his age, I might actually get him for a decent price. Asaidi was someone we went in for. They wanted around 4 or 5 million, I think, if I remember, and they wanted 5 million for Cisse, and I was like, he's 30, he's 75 rated, so he is a little bit of a step up from my strikers, but I cannot, not whatsoever, afford that. We go back in for Van Beek here as well. I think we're going to get him for a pretty decent price. He's not going to cost us like a ridiculous amount, so why don't we go in for him? But I'm going to leave you on a little bit of a cliffhanger. You're not going to find out who we signed in this episode. You won't find any of the players out in this episode who we signed. It was basically, I need information. I have signed a couple of players. I will make you aware of that, but we have no means whatsoever used the budget up. So if you guys have other player suggestions to get in, make sure to get them in. I'll definitely look up those players. See here, Todd Kane is a player I've always liked, and hopefully we can get. But right back isn't our weakest defensive position. Let's put it that way. Centre backs and left back are basically what I need right now. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.